Today, we are digging into how to use instant cash offers to generate more seller leads, and for many of you, to convert the seller leads, whether they be home value leads or just homeowners that maybe you've done a transaction with before, the homeowners in your database into potential listing opportunities and clients for you. We've got a special guest, and he is going to talk about a new feature of the platform that I've been using, way
What's it
over a
been,
year
Josh?
now,
Yeah.
18 months now, at least, and how you can use that. One of the reasons why I love the platform and I love Joe is they're constantly looking for ways to make it better for all of us who are using it or those that may be interested in using it. Before I introduce Joe and we get into the topic today, some housekeeping items. Number one, I've been going live every morning and sharing exactly what I'm doing as far as scripts and templates and my morning activity to generate more clients. And if you haven't been following along with those, I would highly recommend you check out Josh Shanley Coaching, the YouTube channel. I'm also sharing those live on the Facebook page as well, Josh Shanley Coaching. I'm really excited about a new partnership that I have that allow us to, or you, those who are interested, to leverage our 5-figure per month marketing team in your business at no additional out-of-pocket cost for you. So that is not the topic of today's session. However, if you do want to chat about that, shoot me a DM, call or text me. My number's right down there, or just go to joshshanley.com or joshvips.com and schedule a time for us to chat. So our special guest today is Joe Peterson, founder, CEO, president, et al. Of iList.
Janitor, you name it.
He's got all the hats with iList. And I have been using iList, as I mentioned at the beginning, since the fall of 23, maybe even the summer of 23.
Yeah.
And it is one of my favorite resources. It's a resource that I have referenced over and over again. We've had Joe on these calls many times. If you aren't using it, you should be. If you are and you're not sure what to do or how to leverage it to turn it into more business, today will help. If you need even more help, get with me. I'll share how I'm using it, and I'm going to weave in how I'm using it today as well. If you want a free trial to check it out, go to growwithjosh.com/iList. I'll get that link in the chat. I'll get it in the comments if you're watching on the live stream in the Wake Up Real Estate Facebook page, which, by the way, if you are, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. Natasha already given iList some props. Natasha says iList is a great tool. I couldn't agree more, Natasha. And you may not even realize the upgrade that Joe is going to talk about today. Well, one last thing. If you're wondering, what is iList? I think the best way to describe it is how an IDX website is an interactive tool for buyers where they can go and they can look at properties, they can favorite properties, they can request a showing, they can do all these different things. It creates an interactive experience for your buyers. That's what iList offers, but for homeowners. They can go and have an interactive dashboard where they can look at different automated values. They can request cash offers, and these little sliders, they can play with the value based upon upgrades or updates they've made to the property. So it is a wonderful tool and value proposition that you can offer your homeowners in your database. So Joe's going to reveal this upgrade, how people are using it, and then I want to also weave in what I see as the lowest hanging fruit and how I use the tool on a weekly and monthly basis to actually create more conversation opportunities, because that's really what this is about, right? How can you use the tool to create more conversations so you can get more clients? So that was a long-winded intro. And one last thing, we usually go an hour, sometimes an hour plus. I have a very hard out today, so we're going to keep this to 45, 50 minutes top today. But if those of you that want more info, dig deeper, et cetera, just reach out to me. We can connect. So Joe, without further ado, I think I need to let you be able to share as well. Yeah, Joe, welcome. I'm excited. I've started to play with the tool, but I actually haven't seen you talk about the tool. So I bet there's a whole bunch of stuff I haven't even done with it yet that I'm excited to see as well.
There is. And I'm actually excited because this group, Josh, I'm actually showing your group, this group right here, the newest ones that are rolling live today.
Beautiful.
Bucket 5. So this is already live in everybody's world, right? But I'm actually going to reveal 2 new buying partners that are live in the platform. nobody else knows about yet. And
Beautiful.
I'm going to show you the new way where we organize offers to make it even more powerful now. So lots of fun things. So I'm super excited about this. And as Josh said, leveraging the instant offer world to create conversations, opportunities, listings, and even to convert to deals is one of the most powerful hooks in real estate right now. If you think that your sellers or your clients or your database is not interested in instant offers, you're wrong. They have a
100%.
TV, they have a radio, they hear all of the ads out there talking about guaranteed offers, this, sell, all of these things, right? Do not let your clients go around you to explore those resources. We want you to be the ultimate resource of offers, strategies, options, values. The goal is to be the best agent-centric tool out there. There's a lot more that's built around this. I'm not going to get pulled into today. I promise. I like going on a bunch of rabbit trails. We're going to focus on cash offers, but there's a lot of benefits when you have resources like this at your fingertips. You are the source of information. You become the expert. Even if you're not quite the expert in your mind, I'm going to show you how you can leverage these to be the expert. So let's have some fun.
Perfect.
And all they're getting
And
is
by the way, for those of you wondering, I'm trying not to be distracted, but I'm monitoring questions and comments, which by the way, Joe, you have a whole bunch of people that love the tool and are saying nice things about you in the Facebook
Awesome.
groups. I'm just trying to keep everybody engaged and answer comments and so forth. This is really cool and exciting.
So here's what we're going to show you, right? There's 3 things in the instant offer world that we all as agents, users have to be proficient at. First of all, it has to be fast, because if you have a client asking about an instant offer and it takes you 2, 3, 4 days to get one offer, much more like 2 to 3 extra days to get multiple offers, you've already lost. So it has to be fast. The next thing that we have to do is we have to make it simple, meaning we have to make it so easy for you, the agent, to understand who these buyers are and how they operate. And when I say simple, it's making it easy to understand with some education built behind it, right? The last thing I want you to do is have to stop and go research and be on 15 calls to understand how something works. So speed, simplicity, and then we have to make it easy for you to click a button and connect directly with that buyer. Those are the 3 things that we do in this new engine that y'all are getting to see for the first time. So Josh, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type in an address and check this out. If you're a user and you've never done instant offers before and you're a little intimidated by it, right? Watch this. I'm simply typing in an address. Notice I'm not creating anything, registering anything, having to join anything. I simply typed in an address, and look at what you are creating for your clients. Let this pull. Sorry, when I do screen shares, runs a little slow. Check this out. And I blew my screen up. Hopefully y'all can see it easily. I made it as big as possible on my side so you can see it. But I typed in an address, and look at what we have at your fingertips. We have all of the property information, mortgage, equity, owner, you name it. I can take a deep dive into all of the details on that property. And look, we have 2 instant offers. We have 5, maybe 6 dual close offers. And then we have 2 other offers that unlock your buying power. That fast. The only thing I did was type in an address. Now,
All of you can do that.
anybody can type. Most people can type in an address. So now imagine if you could type in an address. So if it's somebody you're having a conversation with, a lead, a buy owner, an off market, somebody in your database, or if you're getting ready to go on to a listing appointment, imagine the power that you bring to the table or the conversation when you can say, hey, Josh, I know we're meeting this afternoon about listing your house. Hey, I know you're considering selling your house. I hope you don't mind. I reached out to my institutional network. I've got 6 or 7 offers I think we should look at real fast. You have the power to do that by typing in an address. So let's go. Before I show you some of the other, like the marketing and sharing and all of that capabilities, let's just digest what these offer types are.
Hey, Joe, for those that are curious, if you already have iList
Yep.
Where do they
How
get
you
here? For
this?
those that aren't sure, like how to get to this spot.
When you log in later today or tomorrow, you're actually going to see a big old banner on your screen. Click here, right? Make it easy. But
Yeah.
for right now, your name at the top right-hand corner of the screen, if you click it, it'll have a drop down that says Falcon. Click Falcon, it'll take you right in. Now, if you're wondering why it's called Falcon, funny story behind that. Our developers love giving things code words, right? One of the guys named it Falcon and it just stuck. So you'll see the word Falcon here. Don't worry. This week is being replaced with logos and brands and all that. But we left Falcon up in there because we started talking about Falcon a couple of months ago, first of the year, really. And everybody just knows it as Falcon now. So we wanted to leave the word Falcon here just for a couple of days so people will know, this is what they're talking about. So don't worry, this will be replaced with logos and everything else. All right. And by the way, if anybody has a hard time finding it, you can email me. We'll show you exactly how to find it. But it is live in everybody's world right now.
Yeah, just go to the top right corner. It says Project Falcon. You click on it and you'll be taken to a page that looks like this.
Now,
type in the address at the top.
The view that I'm looking at, like if you tried on your, like in your world right now, Josh, it would show all of these offers just grouped together like this, right? Just one grid.
Yep.
One of the things that we learned, and this is a good segue to talking about these offers, is if you're a novice agent to this world, which everybody starts off that way, in 9 or 10 offers, you're going, what the heck? I don't even know where to look on these. So one of the things that we did this week on Monday is we broke our offers down into categories for you. Okay. The more you're educated on these offers, the better chance you're going to have on conversations conversion. So we want to make this so incredibly easy on you. Here's what we did. We have, and by the way, drum roll, a brand new buyer in our platform that is a single close buyer. They offer 80 to 85% of market value, a one-time close, because they do not worry about reselling it. These guys are long-term hold players. They are a powerhouse in the offer world. So they are now built into our world. You will see them tomorrow in your world. I'm giving you a sneak peek of what you're going to see tomorrow. So check it out. Cash Now is a one-time close offer. Okay. And it is, Josh, if you submit an offer and you want to work with the quick buy program, you're going to set a closing date. You as an agent get paid, your seller gets paid, deal done. That easy. Okay. Now, we also have Cash Now and Later offers. And if any of y'all are familiar with a dual closing from Zudilio, Zoomcasa, Homeward, that's what this is. It allows your seller to participate in the resale of their house. Your seller will get a percentage of money upfront, typically 80% upfront. Then they will work with you as their agent, repair the house, put it back on the market, etc. And when that house closes again, not only do you as an agent get paid, but your seller gets to participate in any upside. So this is called a dual close strategy. These offers are very popular because they do put a little extra money in your seller's pocket, but there is a secondary closing involved. And then we have the new category we created, which is unlocking your buying power. And Josh, this is one I think that you and I can have a lot of fun conversations on a different call on this.
Yeah.
Y'all have worked with a client, a seller, who is selling because they found their dream property down the road, but they have to sell before they can buy. Right?
Yes. Yes.
All the time. This program right here allows your seller to remove that mortgage from their debt to income. It gives them a all cash offer backstop on their house. When you get that, they now can buy a house because they're only having to qualify for one mortgage, not two. So the buying power, unlocking your buying power, is a great strategy for clients that have a house they would like to buy and not have to mess with selling theirs first. And we can unpack this a little bit more later, but that's the gist of this offer. And then the great thing about this, these offers are locked in place for 150 days. So here's how I use this offer. Hey, Josh, you're selling your house because you've got that one down the road. Great. Let's exercise this all cash backstop offer. You now qualify for that mortgage. You go buy that house. I now have 150 days to sell your property on the open market and maximize your value. And think, that's 2 transactions that you just logged in for yourself as an agent, the buy and the list, because you gave them an amazing solution. I read a stat. Before I quote it, I'll find it, and Josh, I'll send it over to you. But it was a very high percentage of sellers that take cash offers. You know why they do that? Because they found another house they really wanted and they wanted to act quick. What if you had a solution that allowed them to do that and you still got to sell it on the open market for them? So anyway, the unlocking buying power, I have a sneaky feeling this is going to be a premier strategy finishing 2025 out.
Let me give one real quick in 30 seconds or less. You've got builders in your market that are offering crazy low interest rates because they can't move inventory. You get your client a crazy low interest rate on a new construction home. They make that happen while that special offer is being made, and then you sell their home after, so that you're helping them, you're increasing their buying power, you're getting them into a new home, and you're creating multiple transaction opportunities for you. Like, I'm saying that because I literally just used that special interest rate this morning, but I didn't think of connecting the dots on this piece as well. Do that and thank us later.
And for those agents who are like, maybe you're looking for a new lead source or opportunity, go meet your builder rep in your area. You probably have a bunch of them. Shake their hand and say, if you ever have a buyer walk in these doors that's contingent upon their house being sold or they need to sell it first, hand them my card. I can make them a non-contingent buyer where I can get them in this house quick. That's builder rep will love you.
That is beautiful.
Think of the conversations you're creating. And guess what? You have the power to do that, exercise that simply by typing in an address. So now, and once again, we can go into more details on how these offers work, but I just wanted to explain the categories for you. Okay. Now, so speed, we accomplished speed, right? We typed in the address and we've got 8 offers here, and we even break them down into categories for you because each category has its own value. Now, let's say, Josh, let's just say you have a question on, man, what is this offer? Like, I've never heard of Zoodealio or Zoomcasa. Like, who are these people? What is their offer? Our goal is to mix in the education with you in a simple manner. So if you click view detail over here on the right, we actually give you a breakdown of exactly what that offer looks like, the expenses involved, the commissions involved, closing costs involved, everything. I want to make sure that you as an agent have every bit of education right here at your fingertips. We also give you a verbal breakdown of who this buyer is, and we give you a breakdown of what this offer is. Once again, the more education you have at your fingertips, the better you are going to be educating and taking that property forward. So we want to make it incredibly easy for you to look at any one of these buyers. Notice all of the information is custom. Every offer term is custom. So you can understand, okay, what is a program fee? Oh, that's the amount that they charge. It's how they make their money. What are closing costs, right? We give you a breakdown of what everything looks like. So we want to solve the unknown. We want to remove the unknown. Here's who the buyer is. Here's how they operate. So our goal is speed with the simplicity and education built into this. Now, let's have some real fun. All right. So we did all that by typing in an address, right? So let's say, Josh, this is a client that maybe in your database, a buy owner, who knows, and they're interested in having that conversation, or Josh, you're ready to take that conversation to the next level. The very first thing that I want everybody to do is save this property, because right now this property is not saved. So let's pause for just a second. Prospecting, you can just type in address after address, and it's not filling up your database or your CRM with just a bunch of white noise, right? Nothing is saved on this. We're giving you every bit of information, but nothing is saved. When you are ready to take that conversation to the next level, hit save. And as soon as you hit save, look at what we just opened up here. We opened up the ability to share this out with different parties. We opened up the ability to add different types of offers in here, everything. So let's talk best practices. Josh, if this was a client of yours, the first thing that I always recommend you doing is adding a retail market value offer, because you want to be able to show them, like, guys, these are great institutional offers. Here's how they work. Here's the pros and cons. But look what I could do for you on the open competitive market.
Yeah.
And watch how easy we make that. You simply click add offer. Notice everything is populated for you already. So if I wanted to, I could just hit create and it's done. Well, let's say I wanted to get creative and type in 950, right? And let's say I want to no repairs because it's great. I have commissions built in, and hit create offer. So now check this out. An open market traditional offer was just created. That easy. So now when I am talking with a client, guess what number looks absolutely the best? Open market. Why? Because your clients will always make more money working with you on the open market. Now, that might not always be the client's motivation. Please keep that in mind. Your goal as an agent is to bring them options, talk about pros and cons, and let them make a choice. When you're asking that client questions, hey, Josh, why are you selling? Man, you're going to know their motivations by having conversations. So never assume that they want to make the most money. And the only reason I'm telling you that is, trust me, I've pitched, hey, I'm sure you want to do this. And I was wrong. I had a client go, no, actually, we have a family emergency and we're helping a family member out and we need to sell as fast as we can. And they didn't care about maximizing it. And so I go, oh my gosh, I just made an assumption on behalf of my client. Your goal is to deliver the best options and show them, let them make a choice.
The old adage, when you assume, right?
Yep, exactly
You
right.
just never know.
So I added an open market offer. You saw how easy it was for me to do that. Now, we have a couple of users who like creating multiple different types of offers. I'm going to do one just for fun here. Let's say Josh has a really cool offer called, I'm just completely making this up here, max value, MLS. I'm just, once again, throwing words out here because I want you to see how easy it is for me to come in here and create a couple of different views that fast.
Yeah.
So Josh has a couple of cool open market retail values in here. We have all of these offers, but now let's also pretend that, Josh, you don't want to show this bottom one to your client. Turn it off. Let's say that you do not want to show that one to your client. Turn it off. Let's say that you do not want to show that one, right? And I'll just turn a couple of these off just to show you. Look how easy this is. I'm controlling what my seller is going to look at. But don't worry. These offers that I'm hiding, you as an agent never lose visibility to them. We're just removing them from visibility from your sellers. So if I want to share this offer with my seller now, watch how easy this is. Share. Here's a seller view. Copy that link, send it to them. Look what your seller sees. Look how clean and simple this is. They can see that you have 2 or 3 offers in the instant quick close manner. You've got a couple in a dual close, and you've got one that unlocks buying power. Now you've taken the best of each category and you're going, hey, I actually received a bunch of offers. Here's the best in each one of these categories. Let's talk about the benefits here. When you're bringing offers from multiple categories from institutional buyers, think of what that sounds like to a seller. I would go, holy smokes, Josh, you did all that like for me as we're having a conversation, and it elevates you to a completely different level of experience, expertise, etc. Right?
I would highly recommend you don't just send this. Send it with a video explainer, like on Loom or BombBomb or Dub, whatever you're using, or use it as bait to get in person to share with them on Zoom, where you can actually talk about what these different options mean. Because to most consumers, they're going to get a headache. They're going to be confused, and confused minds often say no. So you want to cut through the confusion, and you can do that in one of several ways. James asked, can these be printed so that he could bring them with him in person?
Yes. And the reason, if you're wondering, for those of y'all who have seen what we did in the past, we used to use vertical grids, but you run out of space for printing. That's why we went to horizontal grids, right?
Yeah.
You could literally now, I never recommend bringing a ton of offers to a client, just like Josh said, but this is much easier to print this way versus horizontal grids. And that was actually feedback from a lot of our users. Now, the other thing is this is all mobile friendly. So if you go to a mobile device, it stacks these offers perfectly on top of each other by the category. Looks great, because what Josh just said is so key. Please do not just randomly send this out over and over and over to people. I'm not saying it's not going to work, but you're just throwing stuff on a wall and seeing what sticks, right? In volume, something will always work. But if you want to
Yeah.
get like your highest concentrated, like Josh said, set up a call with him. Say, hey, Josh, man, we have time to walk through a couple of things. I'm going to send you a link. Are you free to jump on a call? Hey, can we meet up at your house at 5 today? I just wanted to show you a couple of these offers that we got. Use this to create the conversation. And there's 10 different versions of a conversation. Now, one of the things that we do is we don't just educate you as an agent. Look at this. This is your seller view. We educate your seller also. And notice this view is a little bit different than yours because we hide commissions and things like that. We want them to see the items that are pertinent to them. So we not only educate you as an agent, but we also give your seller the ability to read and understand what these offers look like. And if you notice here, notice we're no longer showing the buyer's names over here. We're just showing the offer types. We are agent centric. All information flows through you.
Yeah.
So this link right here, you can use it in a variety of different ways. Now, here's the cool part about that link. Watch, I'm just going to hide a couple of these others here. So I just hid 2 other offers, right? I'm going to go to this link and hit refresh on it. It adapts. This is not a static link. So if you did, Josh, if you got an offer, let's say this afternoon, you could go to your seller and say, hey, I'm sending you a link, or hey, hit refresh on that page for me. Look what I just put in your world.
Yeah.
It's a cool way to just constantly be adding value to them. So these links are very powerful. So when you save a property, you can add offers. It opens up your sharing capabilities within here. And there's a lot of different ways to share this out. Text, email, you name it. Now, let's go one more direction here, because I don't want to overcomplicate things. I just want to reiterate at the beginning. I did all of this by typing in an address. Let's just keep that in mind, right? I don't have to know who these buyers are. I don't have to know how they work. Why? Because we tell you all that. Now, before I show you this next offer part, let's just say, Josh, let's just say that you wanted to move forward with a Homeward Cash Plus, right? It's what you and your client talked about. And they're like, man, I really like this one. So Josh, you come in here on your side. Once again, you can review all the details. Watch how easy this is to connect with these buyers. Request final. Done. Josh, we just updated Homeward on your behalf. We created this property in Homeworld for you in your account that fast. If you want to download this offer and view it, click here. If you want to go into your personal Homeward account, click here. Guess what? It'll take you right into your account where you can start adding photos, answering any questions they have that fast. And if you want to talk with Homeward, we have a dedicated account rep built for you right here. So even if you're like, okay, I get this, but I still have some questions, have a conversation. These buyers are in the business of buying houses, not just offers. They want to hear from you because Josh, you might go, guys, man, this house is 945 all day. Here's comps, here's data. You know what Homeward's going to do? They're going to say, man, you're right. Let's update our offer. Does that help us get the deal done? This is not we're going to give you an offer and don't talk to us unless you want it. These offers are designed where, hey, if we're in the ballpark, if we're talking the same language here, let's have a conversation with these buyers and get this deal across the finish line. That's their mentality. They're on your side to get the deal done. So Josh, I just submitted that offer to Homeward. We created the property in Homeward automatically. We give you the ability to log into Homeward, and we have a dedicated person right here. So what did we just do? We brought you an offer, we explained it, and we gave you one-click access to take that offer to the next level. Done. Now, when I hit close on this, look, you submitted this one offer for a final. Josh, what if you wanted to submit another offer for a final, right? Come in here, do the same thing. And look, you can see which offers you've submitted for finals. Did you know you can submit more than one offer for a final? If a couple of these buyers are close, set a 10-minute conversation up with them. Think of the value you're going to get for your seller, and also think of what you as an agent might learn about these offers.
And it's not that different than if you list a home traditionally and you do a good job and you have multiple competing offers, you're going to talk with those agents about those offers, right? And you're going to get them to compete against each other a little bit because you're trying to do your best for your client and get them the most, right? So it's the same idea, just a different.
And I'll tell you one thing we do. Our goal is to connect you with the best buyers in the nation, but we also want these buyers to compete for you. Yeah. So when we send that offer over to Homeward, we also give them this link right here where they know where they stand. We want them to compete for your business. So we do all of that behind the scenes for you so you don't even have to worry about it. Now, one other thing I want to show you, then we're going to get into a really fun feature here. So Josh, we submitted these two properties. We hid these offers from our seller view, right? What if I come back here, I type in another address, and then that seller comes back and says, hey, Josh, I had a question for you. How do you get back to those offers in that property? You go to your snapshot, click on the address, and look, it takes you to the exact last place you left off. So you don't have to worry about going in there and going, okay, where were we or what do we do? We save everything for you just to make it easy. So once again, we did all of this by typing in an address. All right, let's have one more fun conversation here.
And then we've got a ton of questions, and I do have about 15 minutes, maybe 20, before I have a hard out.
This will go fast. All right, so let's say that I'm going to use we'll stick with the same property for speed here. Let's say, Josh, you did a open house on this property, or you've got your own like investor list out there, right? And you go, man, I would love to send this property out to that audience, an open house attendee list, an investor network, or whatnot. Look at what we also give you. Here's an offer link. If you copy this link and email it out to 100 people, right? They're going to get a page that looks like this, where guess what? Those buyers, they get to see all these details, percentage, equity, mortgage. They get to see all that. These buyers can then go in there and say, Josh, I want to make an offer. Josh is my buyer. Josh, buyer. And Josh, let's be a investor today. And you want to offer maybe 805, right? Investor type offer. And you also want 5,000 in closing costs. You want 2,500 in concessions. And you also want a 3% buyer agent. Let's go 2% buyer agent commission. You can close it by the end of the month. And you can also type in your notes to the listing agent. I could take this offer, right? And then you could have your information here, Joe agent. So as an agent, right, I received this link from Josh going, wait, I want to make an offer on this. I hit calculate, check it out. It shows that agent their offer to make sure like it's all good. Make sure they can hit submit. Me as an agent, I got notified. Josh as a agent, he got notified. And look at this. When I refresh this offer, we have a brand new offer down here, Josh buyer. Notice it's automatically hidden from the seller because we never show a seller something if you don't want them to see it.
Yeah.
So if Josh gets this offer, he can simply turn it on. And now, Josh, you have the ability to share your seller. Hey, by the way, I got 7 other offers from open market investors or whatnot. Think how awesome that is when you have the ability to share multiple offers with a seller. You also have the ability to take a link built specifically for that property, send it out to a certain network, and receive more offers on that property.
For those of you that don't know, that is a significant upgrade to the platform. You could always do that, but that is way simpler and easier.
And that's our whole motto. Man, I had something just hit me like a ton of bricks. Our functionality has always been great, but somebody had to do 10 things to get to an end result, right?
Yeah.
Our goal is it has to be fast. It has to be simple, and it's got to deliver the results we want to see.
Yeah.
We have worked our tails off hitting all three of those. And this is going to be one of the premier platforms in real estate, not just for instant offers, but just wait and see the marketing that's rolling out on this in the next 7 days.
Yeah.
Game changer. So I'm going to stop talking now, Josh, because I could go another hour. Just
actually, hold on. So let me ask. So when you say the marketing, you mean the marketing for agents to use the tool?
Yep. So our new
man.
email marketing links, like in functionality, it is absolutely amazing. But I will save that one for our next conversation.
How do we see that marketing? I'm going to have Joe back on sooner than later. So Joe and I, whether it's a live session like this or he and I just geeking out over marketing stuff, one way or the other, he and I will do a part 2 of this once that's rolled out, because that's all of this is cool and in so many ways awesome. But again, unless it actually helps you get into more conversations with sellers and turns into business for you, who cares? So many of you are already formulating your own ideas. We'll connect the dots on a lot of that. I'm going to share, I have enough time to at least share some of my best practices of what have worked best for me and what I continue to do with the tool to create those conversation opportunities. But I also want to answer as many of these questions as well. So since New Jersey is a stickler for everything, it's available everywhere, Giselle. Now, you have to make sure that you're using it in a legal and compliant way. That's not Joe's job or our job, right? You need to make sure that, which I don't know what would be non-compliant, but that's on you to make sure that you're following your state guidelines and whatever licensing rules, et cetera, because each state's a little bit different. I get where you're coming from, but the data, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, that like anyone in all 50 states can put in an address and get this output. On some level. Yeah.
There's no different than you receiving an offer from a local investor. Like the number one thing I see with agents is because we use the word like institutional buyers and things like that, they automatically overcomplicate it in their mind. Treat it like now it's going to be a little faster and easier, right?
Yeah.
But treat it like a local deal and don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah. Michael asks, can we call FSBOs and expirers saying we have a cash offer on their property? Not just a cash offer. I have multiple cash offers.
Yep. And my favorite script on that, I'll tell you, is Josh, if you're a buy owner, I would call you up and say, hey, Josh, I see you're selling buy owner. Hey, man, that's great. One of my institutional buyers that I work with in this area actually asked me about your property, and they wanted to know if you're still accepting offers. A rhetorical question. And I also removed myself from the equation. Notice what I did. I said, they asked. So then I say, oh, man, that's great. I just wanted to call and say hi. Hey, maybe I'll have something for you this afternoon. They have no idea you can generate multiple offers in 5 seconds. Do not call them back in 5 seconds. Call them back in like an hour, right? And say, hey, it's Josh. I just talked to you a little while ago. Man, 2 of my buyers sent me over some really interesting preliminary stuff. Like, when's a good time to meet? Love that.
David, I recently added Street Text and Follow Up Boss CRM to my tools and Bold Trail, formerly KB Core, as my website. How smoothly does this integrate with these tools? You literally named them all. Yep. It integrates with all of them. Let's see here. I need the marketing ASAP. We promise we'll get back on that. Wouldn't we need a listing agreement signed before we present the offers? That's for you to decide, Alicia. I don't, not to my knowledge, but you can. That's really.
I'll answer this way. I don't. But
yeah.
Each their own, right?
Yeah.
I don't, because if I'm just trying to have a conversation with Josh and I put a lot of documents in front of your face before I give you anything of value or have a conversation about something of value, you probably lost before you started.
Yeah. But yeah. Is this a Zoodealio white label? No, Zoodealio is one of the integrated partners in here, but it's just one of it. If you see, look here, that there's all, I don't even know how many different options are in here. Somebody asked what were the other buying powers. It's quick buy and up equity. Yep. My guess is Joe's already working on more because there are other players in that space.
We have 2 more that we're working with this, and we're always very cautious on our buyers. We don't want to flood you with a bunch of wholesalers and things like that. We say no to a lot of buyers on our platform because we want to bring the best of the best. And Josh, you nailed it. Zoodealio, they're amazing. We all know that, but that's just one of the partners you have access to in here.
Aaron says, I signed up for iList, but I don't see Falcon. Go top right, Aaron, top right. And there's a little thing, it'll say Project Falcon. And soon, if you're watching this
probably by noon tomorrow,
if you're watching this replay a couple of days from now, there might be a big banner. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Great questions. This isn't a question, but this is a compliment for Chandra. Ron says that she is awesome. I would agree. Anytime I'm at times one of those pain in the ass customers, and I'll send a video. Hey, I don't know what I should do here, or what am I doing wrong? I can't get this, that, and the other thing, and I get a quick answer. And also, most of that is resolved by the way it works now. There's so fewer, it's so many fewer steps and clicks now that was oftentimes where I was getting lost in this, that, or the other thing, just in the weeds with missing a click or but I didn't put the right thing in this field, whatever. A lot of that has been resolved with this significant upgrade. Cheryl asked, does this have an API? Yes, but it depends on what that means with that question. Like, what do you want to
use it? Very API friendly, if that's what you're wondering. But yeah, that's a loaded question.
I hesitate to ask this question, but I like to be transparent. I can't answer this. I don't know if Joe can, and if neither of us can, Thomas, I'm sorry, but he asked, how does this differ from Fellow? And I can't answer it because I won't answer questions like that unless I have personally used the tool, and I haven't. So I can't comment.
I'll comment on Fellow is amazing for churning your database. And Fellow they require a couple of unique things about Fellow. I'm not saying good or bad, but they require users to register, and they do have one instant offer partner in there that a consumer can access only after they register.
So this is a perfect opening for me to share one of, if you or when you sign up to use iList, growwithjosh.com/iList. Several of you already mentioned that you signed up. In my opinion and experience, one of the first things you should do is whatever you're using, find the integration. Okay, so if you're using KV Core or you're using Follow Up Boss or you're using Lofty, there's an integration where you can literally email every one of the homeowners in your database and send them to their personal interactive dashboard, and they don't have to do anything other than click or tap the button in the email. They are immediately taken to the interactive dashboard. I send an email to all of the homeowners in my database once a month, first week of the month. Most of those days that I send, I also do what Joe calls a bump text. So I text them to let them know, hey, I sent you an updated interactive home value dashboard. And then I will get anywhere from 50 to 90 to 100, sometimes 150 of the people in my database, the homeowners in my database, looking at their interactive dashboard. And I'm going to tease this. I recently figured out that's all cool. And that's great. It's a great interactive, but I was personally struggling with turning those into actual listing and offer opportunities. And so the follow-up email I now send to all of the people that looked at their dashboard has opened a ton of opportunities and created, I think, 4 now in the last 2 months, 4 listings that I wouldn't have uncovered otherwise. If you want that, you got to hit me up. You got to drop a comment or DM me or whatever. So it's like a 3-step. You send them to their interactive dashboard with the email script. And I basically cycle through 3 different versions of the email. So the March email is different than the February email, is different than the January email. And then the April will be pretty much January. Just, I might mention that it's springtime or something like that. The bump text is step 2. And then step 3 is to the people that look at their dashboard, send them a text-only email that asks them some questions, and I'll share that with anyone who is interested. That is one of the simplest ways and the most effective ways to provide more valuable information to your existing homeowners, and also figure out, is thinking about buying, selling, refinancing, or whatever with the equity that they have in their property.
And for those of you all, I talked to a lot of people about this. Josh's emails and the way he does them are consistently top performers. So he's not just saying it's like, I get to see everything behind the scenes, and it's very easy. Like, I can tell when Josh runs his stuff, because on the back end, our backside, we have a leaderboard where I can see all the names and all that. And I can tell when his outreach runs, because man, he just jumps up to the top of the leaderboard. So it's very obvious. So he's not just saying it. It works really, really well.
So a bunch of you are asking for, here's what I'm going to do. because I like Google Docs because then I can update things. I will share with those of you who are asking, I'll make a doc that has the variations of the email that sends people to their dashboard, the bump text, and I actually have 2 versions of that, and then the step 3 text and or email that I send to the people that go and look at the dashboard, that interact with it. I'll give that to anyone who wants it. And if you can't find it, I guess what I'm going to have to do, I'm just going to have to put it with the description of this video on YouTube, because I have a lot of people commenting in here. I have people dropping a comment on, I'm going to do my best to send it to everybody, but if I miss you, what's that?
Hey, here in 10, 12 days, we could have another call just on marketing and literally just dive into that world. That would be a lot of fun.
I think that's probably what we're going to have to do for sure. So I'm going to share, I will share that with anyone who wants it. I'm going to do my best to personally send it to everyone who's requesting. If you don't see it within 48 hours, just find me. Just shoot me a DM on social or shoot me an email. I will share it with you. I've got about 5 more minutes. Several people asked about Open Door, OftenPad, that kind of stuff. Any thoughts on that? I know what I have heard from other users, but
there's a reason they're not in our platform. And I'll never say anything negative about anybody, but we work with companies that are agent centric. Read into that what you want. We work with agent centric companies.
And that's the feedback I have heard. Fernando, do I have a KV Core share token for this strategy? I do. Honestly, though, in some cases, it's just easier to recreate them for yourself to make sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to. Some people asked about the integration. So when you sign up and get your free trial, what does that look like, Joe? So if I sign up and I want my iList integrated with KV Core or Lofty or whatever, what does that look like?
Yeah, I'll show you here. Let me just log into our other little world real fast. I'm just going to go into a random user here. Cool. I'm just going to borrow Aaron Kelly. In fact, Aaron, I think I just saw your name on this list. So Aaron, I'm borrowing your account real fast. So I'm just going to show you, right? So check this out. This is what your world looks like right now. There is going to be a big old banner up here taking you into the Falcon world. It'd be super, super easy. So I'll show you 2 things. To access Falcon, right here. That's how you get in. Now, if you want to integrate it with your CRM, click here, select your CRM, super easy. And then the marketing that Josh is talking about, which him and we can have another fun call on this. Let's just pick KV Core, easy one, right? This link right here, this link is what automates exactly what Josh was talking about. Meaning, if I'm a seller and I click this link, which they'll never see this long text string, right? It's hidden behind, but when they click it, it literally opens up their house inside of your world just like that. They see values, they see a little snapshot of the offers, but the whole goal is we want to identify them as a hand raiser for you.
That's exactly it. All that, it's delivering something that is valuable and interesting and congruent, like very relevant to them. But what it does for you is tells you there is some reason why this person is curious about their home value. And so the next step is to uncover what is that reason. And a certain percentage of them are truly and genuinely just curious, but more often than not, there is a reason. It might be that they're going to refi or they're thinking about refining. It might be that they're thinking about downsizing. It might be that they're thinking about trading up, which, by the way, Aaron Kelly, I combined the two. Can you explain the buying power one more time and how to utilize it with new construction? So the buying power, that just regardless of the specific providers, the idea is I have a home. I don't want to list it and sell it because I don't want to be homeless. This would allow them to unlock equity, purchase the new home. And the example I gave was they buy a new construction home with a builder that's offering special financing incentives and they can lock in. Like right now, I have a builder in my market where you can lock in an interest rate as low as 4.875%. They could lock in that interest rate, buy the new home. It might even be a quick move home. They might even be able to settle in less than 30 days. They get to move into that new home. Then the vacated home, then we sell it on the open market, which means most likely we sell it for more. So the cost of that fee that they're going to pay for this convenience we're probably going to make it up anyway by selling it for more than we would have trying to navigate. We're going to list your home, but we're going to say that it's contingent upon you finding suitable housing. And then for some buyers, they won't make an offer because they don't want to just sit around on the sidelines and wait to see if Billy homeowner can find the house. Like, it takes away a lot of objections and potential concerns, etc. Yes, it's like a bridge loan, Ashok asked, and some of them truly are bridge loans, but some of the better ones, because there are a few different companies that do this, it's not actually a bridge loan, because in a bridge loan, you have to be able to qualify for both mortgages at the same time. What you want is a solution where they only have to qualify for one, because if they have to qualify for both, it means you just took down the pool of people that are potentially able to qualify, like, and made it really small. And I know I'm talking fast, but it's because I'm going to have to wrap up any minute now. So here's what I'm going to do. Number one, those emails designed to get the homeowners in your database to look at their dashboard, I'm going to compile those for you. I'm going to compile the bump text and a couple of different variations. And then what I send to the people that go and look at their dashboard to uncover what was their motivation for that and how I can best help them. I'm going to put that all together. A bunch of you have dropped your emails here. A bunch of you have commented. I also saw that some of you have already DM'd me. I will do my very best to get all of you who are requesting it that information. Give me a day tops to get that. If you don't have it within 24 hours, hit me up again. I'll make sure that you get it. You should go and check out the platform, play around with it, and then Joe and I will do a round 2 in a week or two, more on the marketing piece of this, right? This is an amazing tool, and we talked about the functionality, but now, because so many of you are excited about it, let's commit more time to here's actually how to use the tool to get you in conversations with more sellers, whether they are FSBOs or expireds or pre-foreclosures, or they're existing homeowners in your database, or they're leads that we can help you generate with our 6-figure marketing team that you generate through them. And then once you realize that a majority of those leads that you're generating already own a home and they're thinking about downsizing or trading up, you can use the tool to provide value and get into conversation with more of those people as well. If that's something you're interested, hit me up. Joe, this is awesome. You and I will get with you later today or tomorrow on when it will make sense for us to do a round 2, more deeper dive on the marketing side of this. But I applaud you, and genuinely, you've got a bunch of people in the Zoom room who have chatted and a bunch of people in the live stream who have chatted, singing your praises and Chandra's praises and what this is and what it allows people to do. I appreciate your time and sharing this and being committed to continuing to make this better and, more importantly, easier and easier for us to use from a technology perspective. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And for those wondering, the replay will be available immediately after in the Facebook group, and it will be posted on the Josh Shanley Coaching YouTube channel tomorrow morning for you to review as many times as you like. Joe, thank you very much. Take care all. Hope to chat with you soon, and we'll be back with Joe in a week or two.